Hey everyone, we are back with another DaemonClaw update video, and with me as always is Corey.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And my brother Chris.
Hey everyone.
So we're going to dive right in and start with Neo Geo. Probably, unfortunately, these update videos are going to be shorter from now on because there's less and less we can actually show. While we're making a lot of progress, it's getting into the territory of what's left that's new we don't want to show you because that would be spoiler for stuff we want you to experience when you actually play the game, or it's just mundane bug fixes and super minute gameplay tweaks to just make sure things are optimized for gameplay, so to speak. But other than that, what has been going on the Neo Geo side is I hinted in previous videos that for some reason that I'm not going to reveal, there's the requirements for the animation of a whole other character with a fairly big move set. I got that about 80% done, but it's always important once you get it mostly well roughed in and the design of the character well established for all of the animations. It's then important to get it in the game so you could see it in its full context before you make the final edits and cleanup to all the animations. So I've done that. I've made that first version of it, given it to the programmer. He got it in the game, and I've been reviewing that, and now I can start cleaning up and finalizing all of those animations, so that's going well. I did also realize recently that when I made that update page so you could track the progress in a much more granular way, Future Mike will put that on the screen and a link in the description, I realized we never added any entry, I guess, for the sound effects. There are still several sound effects that need to be made specifically for the second playable character. So I have a feeling I will add that to the webpage by the time you're watching this video. It will probably be added there, and I'm hoping by the time of the next update video I will have all of those sound effects done. And then finally, for the Neo Geo, all of those different magic variants of all the different demon attacks that Zardana can do, those are all actually implemented in their kind of first pass version in the game by the programmer. So the art is final, and the behaviors have been done to specifications by the tickets I made explaining what should happen to the enemies and stuff like that when Zardana does one of these demon summoning attacks with any of these magic variants. But as is going to be the bulk of the work now on the Bitbeam Cannon side with the Neo Geo version of DaemonClaw, like almost all of our work is done except for testing and making tons of tickets that there's a big difference between getting something functional and the iteration required to perfect the timings and the size of the collision boxes and how long collision boxes last and how severely enemies react and how much damage they take. All of that stuff is critical to make something go from functional to fun, and so that's going to be the bulk of our work pretty much from here on in once we're done with this last bit of graphic work and sound effects. Now onto the PC side of things. As you guys know, if you've been following this, we were in the process of migrating to the latest version of Construct, which required getting rid of usage of some third-party plugins that were not supported with the latest versions of Construct, but also there was one plugin that we can't just get rid of and replace with first-party solution. So luckily, I worked with the programmer of that plugin, and we were able to fully test and debug an updated version of the plugin that will continue to work with all of the latest versions of Construct. So we're finally completely done with that. Part of the reason to do that in general is it's just a good idea because it allows you to use the latest features and most optimized and stable version of the game authoring system. But the other reason was supposedly it was going to help us finally get it fully functional on SteamDeck, and ironically that hasn't been the case yet. The people at Make Construct, they went out of their way to make fixes to fix the big issue with it on SteamDeck, which was that you could get it running, but then the gamepad input, none of it would work. And that was a known issue with Construct and WebView 2 made stuff on the Steam Deck. So they fixed that, and we did all the work to migrate to the latest version of Construct that has that fix, only to discover in the meantime the people that make Proton and their latest update of Proton, it just doesn't work with WebView 2 anymore. So basically, eventually both things will get fixed, but in the meantime, we do have some other things that Chris and I can try to hopefully be able to get it running on Steam Deck in the not too distant future. But we are still working on it, as are independently the people that make Construct and the people that make Proton for running Windows-based games on the Steam Deck. But aside from that, we have not, obviously, we're not just going to wait and do nothing. So in the meantime, now that we have fully migrated to the latest versions of Construct, Chris has been able to get back to work on retooling and finishing the final boss fight for the PC version, after which point he's going to get into the more exciting things like adding the second playable character and all that fun stuff.
And on the print side of things, I've been working hard to finish up the Neo Geo instruction manual. We've changed out all of the secondary playable character, in this case it's Zardana, and put all of her info for her how to play with Zardana in the manual. We also changed out things like the controls as needed, and we took a little extra steps to refine the manual where needed this time, so tweaking text in a few places where we thought it needed to be, and it's very, very close.
Yeah, looking great, Corey, so great work on that. And then we also did make some good progress on the art book. There's still a lot more to go, but now the manual is super close to done, and the art book, it's really well planned out, and there's just specific things that we kind of have to still plug in and polish on certain pages, but making good progress with that. And then finally there's the deluxe trading cards, and the posters too, but the posters are going to be really easy. I'm going to do those after I finish the other things, because the art for the posters are already done. We just need to, like, in one of the variants of the posters, put in the latest, nicest screenshots from the different versions of DaemonClaw. But otherwise there's just the deluxe trading cards. As you've seen over the last many videos, I'm pretty much done with illustrations for them, but now I need to put those illustrations in the cards in the proper format, and then set up all of the text and icons and all of that so I can do test prints and show them to my local card game expert to make sure I worded everything right and showed the right icons and all that. So yeah, all the print stuff is wrapping up at about the same time, which is good, almost like we planned it that way. So as we're getting close to finalizing everything in the actual game, the Neo Geo version anyway, we're getting all the print stuff wrapped up too, so everything's shaping up well.
Also, don't forget guys, you can still back our other game project, Metal Mac, on Kickstarter with a late pledge. We recently reached the second to last stretch goal, and we're heading for the final one, so definitely check it out. But when you can, links should be in the description below. And also you can get DaemonClaw for Mega Drive or pre-order it for Neo Geo, and of course get it on Steam. Links in the description.
Awesome. That's it for this one. Thanks everyone.
If you enjoy our content and want to keep up to date on our games, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to support our projects, consider becoming a patron. The link's in the description, and we'll see you soon.